Cleveland and beyond with Andy Billman and Jarid Watson. Brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts.
And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jarid Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Also, we are a part of Evergreen Podcasts. Well, the Browns, plenty of chatter going on. Are we going to re-sign Rashard Higgins? More trade rumors about Odell Beckham Jr. and whether he belongs in Cleveland or whether that ship has sailed. The experiment, was it worth it? Is he going to work out here? Can he ever connect with Baker Mayfield? Would he be better off somewhere else? We're going to get into that. Are we still going after an edge rusher? Maybe. I think we are. I think most of us believe that that is still the case, even though we have not gotten J.J. Watt, obviously. We're going to talk about the Indians and Franmil Reyes and Jose Ramirez, who apparently are just going out getting haircuts and doing whatever they want. But there are some other good things going on. Bobby Bradley hitting home runs, Andy. Is that something that we can talk about? Something? Some offense maybe that might make me happy? Because Lord knows you're higher on the Indians than I am.
I'm excited about the Indians.
Okay. Then cheer me up, because Lord knows I am about as low on this team as I have been. And I don't think I'm being hyperbolic here, as low as I have ever been on this Indians team. And it's not really from an on the field standpoint, although on the field is not helping. And then we'll talk about the Cavs. And I think we'll just lead off with this. Longtime Cavs announcer Joe Tait passed away today. He had been in hospice, and a very good, solid follow on Twitter, who I like to follow, led me to this article by Terry Pluto, who is a longtime friend of Joe Tait. Roberto Shenanigans, I don't know if any of you follow him. He's a good Cleveland sports follow. Led me to this article by Terry Pluto, who's friends with Joe Tait, who visited him often in hospice during these past months, past weeks. Sat down with him and talked to him about his time announcing and some of that history, some of the time that he spent, even learning to announce baseball and spending time with Herb Score, and how Herb had welcomed him into the booth. It was, for me, Andy, just being the radio guy that I am, the background that I come from, growing up listening to Joe. I spent a lot of time listening to Cavs games. I spent a lot of time listening to his calls. I'm not the guy who remembers the particulars, the Craig Elo, Lubbock, Texas call that everyone seems to remember, that they highlight as one of their favorites. But I do remember being a child. I spent a lot of time as a child listening to his calls through the 80s and into the early 90s. And then even when it got brutal for a little while into those mid-90s teams, when I was still listening to those radio calls. And Joe Tait's voice always rings clear in my ear when I think Cavs radio, Cavs calls. And so, it's sad to hear. I know that a lot of folks feel that way. We love our sports broadcasters, our team announcers in this town, in this region. And we just want to give our heartfelt sympathies and condolences to the Tait family, to friends and loved ones, and to everyone else who enjoyed listening to his broadcasts over the years. We know it had been a long time since he had done those calls and those games, but it doesn't feel like it had been that long since he had done them. Especially, when you listen to his voice, he is the Cavs when you hear those calls. So very sad, and rest easy, Joe Tait.
Sad to see. There's nothing really. I just feel bad. JVS Hurd doing a great job already. Wham with the right hand. Many great calls.
There you go.
Good to have you in the room tonight, JVS.
What's going on?
Hey, John. Yes, R.I.P. Joe Tait. I thought we should have laid off with him because he's a legend. Jared hit all the key points. So it was just sad. He has not been doing well for a while. I did not realize what was going on either. Just sad to hear. He is beloved. He's a very, very nice man. And, it just sucks because he's someone who's a really big part of this community, and certainly in as you said, Cleveland and Cavalier lore. So RIP Joe Tait, you will be missed. You really, really will be missed, and your impact is being shown all over Cleveland social media and everywhere today here and tonight.
Say hi to Fred.
You know? Exactly. No, you're right. By the way, that's a good call. You're exactly right. So moving on, because there's no really good transition. So moving on now to the Browns. So a couple of things that my partner said here, picking up, going in. I really don't give a fuck about the Odell Beckham trade rumor shit. I just don't care.
Yeah, let's just start with that right now.
I don't even care.
So obnoxious and annoying. I'm sick of it.
I don't need clicks. I don't care.
No. Nope.
The big one I want to talk about, there's two, but I'm going to lead off with the opposite one. We should be talking about Higgins, but I'm going to lead off with the bigger one. Dak Prescott's contract really set off the dominoes, I thought, to where we're at. On Monday, he signed that big contract. And I actually want to lead off here because we haven't talked about this in a while. And defense is important. Bringing back Rashard Higgins is important.
Right.
Hey, Believeland, Manny Blasdale. Good to see you, brother.
What's going on, Manny? Thanks for tuning in, brother.
I haven't seen you as much lately. Good to have you around. This is a big deal with Prescott getting signed like this, and it shows the importance. You don't have to go on this podcast to know we both believe we should re-sign Baker Mayfield.
Right.
I'm still kind of baffled that there's still a little debate. It's gone away mostly, but there's still a little debate about this. You need to re-sign him, and the reason why is because contracts like this, they're going to be getting bigger. I know Grossi really hammers at home, and I agree with Grossi on this. And I'll go a step further, which I've been saying. This is good for the team. It's good for morale. Baker Mayfield has earned this. Baker Mayfield is our guy. If it, for some wild fucking reason, which I don't think it will, it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. This is the right move. You got to re-sign him. You got to take a look at this contract. You got to make these numbers work. So for everything we're going to talk about today, Higgins, very important, obviously. We both believe in him. Defensive edge rusher, very, very important. Andrew Berry made a point of it. We're going to talk about it. Getting some more defensive help, very, very important. The most important thing on this team is Baker Mayfield. You need to get him locked up long term. With everything we're going to talk about today on the show, I wanted to lead off with that. This is very important. This is a guy who won a playoff game on the road against our fucking arch rival. Let's take care of him. This team's on a good roll. Let's keep this positive momentum going. I wanted to lead off with Baker's. I think it's important. This is a big, big time in this organization. And I know they're working on it. I think they will get it right. But it's a big moment for them. They got to get this done. Need it.
You nailed it, Andy. Sooner rather than later. Sooner rather than later, because let's say this way. You push it another year. It's going to cost more.
Big time.
Because what happens next year if they go further? What happens if they are AFC champs? What happens if they? I mean, I'm genuinely putting Super Bowl out there. I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm there. I'm there. That's where I'm at.
No, well, Jared's bigger than that. It's everybody.
I'm there.
The Browns have a chance to go Super Bowl.
So why would you even dick around at this point? That's what I'm saying. It's a no fucking brainer at this point. It's a no fucking brainer. You sign the man long term, you lock him in, and you're done with it. You don't want to have those questions in the air. You don't want to go into next season with those questions in the air. Correct. Done. Over with. Sign the man. Sign the man. Sign him long term, and do it now. And then you can get. Then you know what you have money wise down the road the rest of the way too.
That's why I wanted to lead off with that, because there's so many things that are being discussed about and we're going to get into all of them. The biggest thing that the Browns need to keep sight of, Baker Mayfield. Getting that contract in line. All these other things are great and they're big importance. We're not. That is number 1 and 3. And I agree with 4th is something else I want to lead off with after this. So we all agree we won't go into long things. I thought Barry gave the right attitude during the press conference, really going, hey, like we're working on this. I'll quote him. It was really the same trajectory as Myles Garrett. Obviously, we did his deal in the summer, but it's not something that I really felt comfortable talking through really until the offseason. And he went into a longer quote. That's from Barry last week. I just want to lead off with that. There's all this noise around there's always noise. Everyone should stay focused. Biggest thing in the offseason is get Baker Mayfield signed to a long-term deal somewhere. That is the biggest thing. All these other things are good and you got to, it starts and ends with 6. Get him locked up. He's our leader. He's our guy. We're in with this. All this other shit's gonna come and go. Higgins, love to see him come back. He's not as big as Baker Mayfield. Love Nick Chubb. Hate to say it. Baker Mayfield getting signed is a bigger deal than Nick Chubb. These things have to happen. that big.
Well, I
a
mean,
deal.
it's he's the keystone. He's the linchpin. He's what makes everything works. The offense revolves around him. Let's not make any mistake about this. And throughout this offseason, I've talked about this in the past, Andy, where I just casually peruse Twitter on a regular basis for like, I don't know, every hour or so throughout the day, because that's what I do. I have problems. Someone take the phone from me. My wife.
I actually played a new match game that matches 3 things in a row, and it's helped me distract from Twitter and Facebook.
I need to stop doing it. I love Twitter. I love Twitter. It is just terrible for me. But what pops up all the time? Pro Football Focus, CBS Sports headquarters stuff, and there's one other. It might be Sports Illustrated. And it's constantly these new infographics of top 3, top 5, whatever quarterback numbers, this and that, quarterback this, quarterback that, over this many years on their first 3 seasons. And I swear to God, Andy, every single one of them, the latest one is the comparison of Baker Mayfield's first 3 seasons to Tom Brady's first 3 seasons. And like every single one of them is nothing but a fucking reinforcer that don't take this kid for granted. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't talk. Do not take this kid for granted. Don't do it. Every single one of these infographics. And it happens once every 2, 3, 4 days that one of them pops up that reminds you that he's, legitimately in those top 5 for whatever this number is, percentage for long, passes 25 yards or more, percent completion, shit like that you're like, you know what? I didn't realize that. No shit. Well, I guess wow. Okay. They're just reinforcers that he is that good, that he is not some piece of shit that need, that's because there are still, Andy, there are still people out there that want to that will try to say he's, they'll throw in the Johnny Manziel in there too. There are people that still exist out there that do that. They do.
That.
They do. Yeah, I know. It makes you, I know that face. It makes me sick.
What happened at the end of the year in Pittsburgh on the road? Who won that game? Oh, that's right.
Andy, how about this too? Baker Mayfield is undefeated at home against the Steelers.
To all those people.
That's another infographic that popped up last week in my face. Again, Javius, numbers that you're like, oh, okay.
Yep. Javius, I agree with Javius on Facebook. He's going to make a lot of people regret ever doubting him. I agree with you, Javius. I just wanted to get to it to lead off. There's all this noise, and it's fun. And next week, you talk about a busy week. We'll be on Tuesday. I can't do Monday, but I'll do on Tuesday. We'll be doing brackets and Browns free agency. And it's going to be big. It starts on Monday at noon. There'll be a lot of shit going on. And everybody better embrace it. It's going to be fun. But the number one thing is Baker Mayfield. Yeah. Don't get worried about, oh gosh, David re-signed with the Buccaneers and he's the linebacker we wanted, or you're getting caught up in the Broncos won't trade Von Miller, which I want Von Miller too, or why the fuck did JJ Watt go to the Cardinals, which we'll talk about that later. All that stuff is sure it's in the importance pile.
Bro, there are players everywhere. There aren't franchise quarters everywhere. Right? Yeah. There are playmakers. You can find guys everywhere. You can't find franchise quarterbacks everywhere.
Again, I just wanted to make sure we let off of that.
And I'll even go this far. Dallas giving Prescott that deal is even more evidence that, like, if they're giving him that deal, like,
by the way, I thought Prescott was worth it.
Then you'd better take care of Baker.
Again, he's good. Prescott's good. I was really impressed with him when he played the Browns last year. I think he's worth it. Yeah. He's worth it. And he did not do anything. Poor guy got injured. So, anyways, I would say you can debate what the next one is, but it's all about Higgins to me. And the Higgins rumor mill is, oh, we're whipped. We're depressed. Everybody's stressed out because we all want Higgins to come back. We all do. And it just seems to be going down this road of he's not coming back. I'm going to give some hope. So I had this revelation today. I got some hope.
I've got some hope to give too. Go ahead.
I got some hope. I was looking at the free agency wide receiver market.
Yep.
And they listed the top wide receivers. He's not even on the list.
No.
And that's good.
You're going to go where I'm going.
I think this is an oversaturated wide receiver pool. I don't think Higgins is going to come back as of today, but I think there's a chance. If you would have asked me back earlier today, I said there's no chance. I don't see it. It looks like they're really high on Njoku coming back, and they're just going to walk with Njoku and let Higgins run away. I will say there's now a chance. I still think the Browns have to put up more money. It's being reported by various people. People can take it for a rumor. They only offered them two, maybe even just as much as 3. It's not a lot of money. So here's the point I'm making. They're going to have to go up a little bit more than that.
Right.
But there's a chance. I'll say there's a chance. I still don't think he's coming back, though, Jared. I think he's going to walk. I do. I think he's going to go somewhere else.
Well, the problem is, and this is what we're talking about here. I don't think he's going to get the 5 or 6 anywhere else.
Yeah, I guess the question is
that is the problem. Is anyone else going to give him 5 or 6? And I don't think they are.
Well, will the Browns go 4? 4.5?
I mean, why not? At that point,
that's you and I.
So is he going to get a taste of Is he going to get a taste out there? Or
I think he's good. I think someone's going to give him 4.5. I really do, or 5. I do.
I don't know if he's going to get 5. Who do you think is going to give him 5? I don't know.
I know this stuff. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I know.
People do crazy shit. And his numbers are very high, extremely analytics. And I think there'll be some team who will take a look at that and really take it for heart.
Well, that's the bummer, because I would say, honestly, if the Browns did sign him, I think 4 is about the number. Maybe 4. 5 is topped out, obviously. I saw that, 6 is, I don't know what's where is 6? Who's thinking that
a lot of people who are in this world, and we can all debate whether it's right or wrong. And this happens in baseball. It's now happening in football. The earmark, it used to never happen in football. It's now happening in football more and more. Like baseball, we all growing up. The earmark price value for Higgins is 6, highest 7, according to people who know values. But from what I'm seeing in the oversaturated market, I think you're looking at 5 as well. I think you're looking at 4.5, 5. I really do.
That's
and the Browns
about
aren't
where
close
I'm
to that.
at.
And that's not where the Browns are at. So here's a couple of things to think about. Barry on Higgins last week. Quote, he obviously played a key role for us this past year. We have a really positive history with him. Look, free agency can be difficult. And obviously he has earned the right to make that decision and the most appropriate for him. We will maintain consistently good communication with him and his reps. Key. And we will see where it goes, end quote. I don't think that's a death certificate of him not coming back, but that is someone who's talking reality. Here's what I'm hearing from Higgins on, whether it's on Emmett and Jarid show, whether it's on any other tweets, whatever else. Higgins is dying to stay. Here's where there's 2 or 3 things to think about this. 1, I would take Higgins over Njoku. Even with Njoku improving, I would rather cut Njoku and keep Higgins. The Browns don't seem to want to do that. And as of today, that's what's on the table. So we got to accept that for what it's worth. But if I were Andrew Berry, that's what I would do. 2, Higgins is dying to come back. Will he take less money to stay in Cleveland? He did last year's. I don't think he had much options. That's the question. That is the
see, and this is going to be a part of the problem too. Is he didn't have many options, and again, he didn't get much of a chance until the season moved and went on last season either.
Jay's injury got Higgins in the
So my point being, I still don't know what he's going to get out there. Although at the same time, I don't like that he's not being taken care of, considering that he is a guy who wants to be here. I don't like, and obviously there's things that go on behind closed doors that we don't know about, but on the surface, when you put it out there in the way that you just did, Njoku's going to stay, Higgins is going to go, that doesn't feel good to you. It doesn't feel good to me. And it doesn't feel good to most people that see the way that Njoku has played this laissez-faire attitude regarding his wanting to be a part of the Cleveland Browns organization, even when he's playing, even when they are winning. His attitude even now doesn't seem to have changed from then. So that makes it difficult for me to be okay with this. It would be the first time, I believe, that I'm really not on the same page with this decision if it goes down that way.
So let's play a game. I'm going to play a game. OBJ, Njoku, or Higgins. You can only keep 2. Which 2 you're going to keep?
Oh, it's Higgins and Odell. Bro, I'm rocking my Odell shirt right now. Odell goes nowhere. I'm tired of that fucking worn out.
Ready? I'm going to play new. I'm on the same wavelength. I agree. Let's play a different game.
Oh, boy, I know what you're going to do now.
This is a tight end offense. This is a tight end offense. They're going to keep Njoku. Okay, fine. Perryman and Higgins or OBJ? I'll take Perryman and Higgins. I think Perryman can make up for that speed loss from OBJ. And I just got to be frank and honest. I think Hollywood Higgins has got a better flow within the offense. I got to be honest. I think Perryman and Higgins is the way I would go. And I would figure out what to do.
I still don't like the way that Perryman walked last time.
Perryman got upset because of everything that happened. It's an emotional thing. I was actually okay with it back then. I understood it because he was trying to get starts and he was trying to get more playing time. I think these are kind of decisions that have to be going on in shrooms. That might be the reason why this Odell thing is sniffing. I don't think Odell's going anywhere. I just don't. I think he's
there's no way because one, nobody's got the money. Like nobody wants to. There's nowhere to go with it. No. It doesn't. I just didn't see any big. I didn't see anywhere where he really fit. I mean, obviously the rumors are out there about him going to Tampa Bay, but I still don't know how that works either. I mean, didn't they just franchise one of their wide receivers too? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
I just think if I were the Browns, the one thing I'd keep thinking about is, are you really bringing Njoku back after this year? If you are, then come talk to me. That's a different discussion. If you're really just holding it on as you want a third good tight end who's played well at the end of the year, here's the thing you got to think about. I don't think OBJ is coming back after this year. I just don't. And that's a different discussion. We'll go down that road. Bringing back Higgins and signing him to a multi-year deal and bringing someone like Perriman and cutting Njoku makes to me a lot of sense because that $6 million can be distributed between Perriman and Hollywood Higgins. And that way you have cover because next year you can't keep OBJ and Landry. You just can't. The numbers aren't there. You're not going to be able to keep both those guys. You're going to have to because you guys start signing Chubb. I want Nick Chubb coming back. Like then you're going to decisions like I want Nick Chubb in 2022.
Again, though, all of this changes if they win a Super Bowl next season.
Well, but right. And by the way, you're right. But like, I'm just playing hypothetical. This is the roads I see. These are great decisions. Because I'd rather have these than the decisions we usually have where
who do you want to draft the quarterback this next year?
Did you read this report about the Colorado wide receiver? Look, I mean, I like
Hey, do you think that offensive coordinator would make a good head coach?
Anybody want to do a kicker countdown, which we'll be doing here soon? But like, here's the thing.
That head coach from Appalachian State had a hell of a season, and I heard that he interviewed well with the Haslams. I
watched the Bengals and Alex Van Pelt on the sidelines. He could call a hell of a game. So, I mean, we're making better discussions here. But this to me is the real decision that's coming. I think Higgins needs to come back because I think Higgins is long-term. I think OBJ is 1 year. I think Njoku might be 1 year. And that's why I'm really bothered by Higgins not coming back. Has to be said. Higgins is going to play 2 or 3 more years at a good level. He has got that in him. I see it and I believe it. I don't think OBJ is coming back in 2022, and I don't think Njoku is.
The Browns.com actually wrote an article today that they posted about how important their tight ends were.
Oh, they love them. And by the way, they won 12 games, including one playoff game. So I'm trusting this. This isn't me worried and wringing my hands. But like I'm just saying, we had to say it. That's why Higgins is getting so much play. I think I'll just leave it there. And by the way, if you listen to any sports talk, any podcast, Instagram with me, right here, everyone says the same thing. Yeah, keep Higgins and Njoku take care is a good run. All except for the people in Berea as of right now, which is interesting.
So weird.
Which is interesting.
So weird.
Before we get into Nick Chubb, that's another guy I want to bring up. I guess they're going to roll the dice. It sounds like they're going to roll the dice and just try to sign him as the season continues. It doesn't sound like they're making. And that, by the way, this is a long ways to go between now and September.
Sign
Nick Chubb to a long.
Sign.
He's a UFA after this year. He's a total free agent, no strings attached, unrestricted after this year. I bring him up too. These are all good problems, but again, he's been going on with some stuff with Georgia, which I don't know anybody cares about.
I couldn't care less about that shit either. You want to talk about another story that
I love this guy. We believe that there's claims that Georgia and Alabama play players hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, you don't think it's going on at Ohio State? You don't think it's going on in Michigan?
Well, even if on top of that, I loved Nick Chubb's response, which was if I needed the money, I would have declared.
Well, look.
I went to the NFL.
I won't do my investigative reporting, journaling things I've been doing way too long. Everybody in college football gets paid. Okay, now let's move on.
Let me go a step further. These kids in college football should fucking get paid.
Yes, and it's even just as dirty in basketball. So, all that to be said, the biggest thing to me and to you is what's going on with Nick Chubb and the signing. I do find it interesting there. Again, this is another guy. Nick Chubb to me is long-term.
Yep.
Now, Chubb is tricky because they have a lot of other things they have to take care of.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I just want to bring it up and put it in the back of our heads. Mayfield's one. I get, even though Chubb's more important in the Higgins situation, Chubb is 3. So you got to figure out this wide receiver tight end room. And then there's Chubb. I bring all this up for a reason. We're going to talk about the painting of the defense. The great thing about this team is they're focusing on the right side of the ball, the offense. Quarterback being solidified. What are we going to do in the wide receiver tight end room? Running back. I think this is all the big things and the right things to be talking about. Hendrickson, Shaq Barrett, I'll get into in a second. I love Shaq Barrett. I'm getting to the point of saying, you know what, fuck it, just pay the guy a lot of money and let's just go. Pay Von Miller a lot of money and let's go. All that to be said, these are the big decisions. What to do about Mayfield and get that contract done. Higgins in that wide receiver room. What's going to happen to OBJ in 2022? Njoku. What's going on with Nick Chubb? Those are the big things. This next stuff is all defense. It's all important. It's all noise. But just remember, these things are the big things. And number 6 is number 1. Got to get them locked up. What happened to J.J. Watt? Mary Kay Cabot did a nice little story on this. So let's get into it.
I'm glad she did, by the way, too, because the narrative that came out first was annoying and you knew it was bullshit.
Yeah.
So let's roll into it.
The Browns were one of the few teams that made an offer to Watt, according to Mary Kay. But as she reported last week, it wasn't higher than the 2-year 31 maximum. And by the way, everybody claims that. Everyone claims now the Cardinals gave him the highest thing. So that's fine. Watt did really like the Browns, according to Mary Kay, but took more money to sign with the Cardinals. He also said he really liked Kyler Murray and the weather in Arizona, which, by the way, hey, I love Cleveland. Love Cleveland. You love Cleveland. I love Cleveland. If you want to compare weather patterns, okay, hey, Arizona wins. So if weather means that much to you, you got us. I don't know what to say on that one. All that to be said, I just think I'm glad this is done. I thought everything that happened kind of was already kind of non-verbally committed through his postings. I mean, private jets, gold being shown, blingy stuff.
Limousine drive.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, Ric Flair. This really, really was Ric Flair. Woo! I mean.
That's all right. Ric Flair's a Browns
and
fan.
Profiling.
Yep.
Look, it just felt that way. To put it out there, I was wrong about this, and now that I've learned, J.J. Watt belongs in Arizona, and I don't wish him harm or anything else. Best of luck. You're not made for Cleveland.
Nope.
You're not.
Nope.
And
We
by the way,
thought,
not
he was
either.
built different. He ain't built different. I just got to throw this out there. I lived in Vegas for 3 years. I've been out there in that nice weather. I've been gone. I've been out of this area for 15 years. I brought my happy ass back here because I don't mind this weather. I don't mind this weather. I've never been cry about the weather guy. I've never been.
I never have been until this year. Whoops, I set my mic on. Fuck.
You're on.
I love a good hot tub. But look,
you got it. Now, I invest in those fun winter extras. Yes. Those are good. I've got the fireplace.
All right.
I've got the hot tub.
There you go.
I've got those fun winter extras. Yes. Necessities.
All that to be said. That's that. I think after all that offensive stuff and JJ Watt being postmortem, Von Miller, Carl Lawson, these are names you're hearing.
Yep.
Hassan Reddick, Hendrickson, the guy out of New Orleans. Shaq Barrett now being sniffed, which I like a lot. And then you got a whole bunch of other guys in Bud Dupree and Von Miller, which we already mentioned at the top. So I'll give you mine. I want to hear Jared's. I still think now that I've seen the numbers come out, the Browns have a good amount of cap. They're still in the top. They're still really up there. I'm just going to say it. I've actually turned one corner. I still think you should try to make Von Miller work. Okay, fine. You can't do it. Maybe it's going to be too much training. Fine, whatever. I just think the Browns need to go for things. Sign that kid from Tampa Bay. Just get Shaq Barrett in here. Let's start sacking fucking quarterbacks. I don't want to wring my hand. Carl Lawson, I like it. I don't love it. Trey Hendrickson, I like it a lot, but I don't love it. I like it a lot. I think Hendrickson could be good. Do I like Bud Dupree? Yes, but he's just coming off an injury. Yannick Ngakoue, I'm not a fan. Like, there's some other guys that I like Reddick, but I want to love something. I want to love it. Let's just go for Shaq Barrett.
Yeah.
I just think let's just go all in and let's just go.
Well, I think that's part of what it seems like they're doing. I mean, when you talk about making the move to clear another $3 million in cap space with cutting Claiborne or releasing Claiborne.
By the way, one of the most we've had some legendary ones for all the things that went well. Wasn't the Browns' fault. Boy, Claiborne stunk. Woo! He was quietest 3.5 sacks you'll ever see.
You kept thinking he'd show up.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a bummer. It was a bummer. It really was.
That was
especially because you needed him. You needed him. What was that? Early in mid-season, right?
I just remember
doing that right in my head. Yeah. Wasn't it early in mid-season where you really were hoping that it was?
Well, because Miles was out. That
was it.
Yep. I mean,
that's what it was.
Here's the thing. There was a game he played, and obviously probably in the middle of the year, and I saw him like, who's that big dude who's slow? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's Claiborne. Mm-hmm. Oh. I just remember after that moment, I'm like, I have no hope. No hope. For people who missed it, by the way, Levante David, who a lot of people liked in the press from the Bucks, he is back on the Bucks, so he's off the table.
I did see that.
And Godwin's also been locked up as a franchise player. So for people who think OBJ is going to Tampa Bay, I think that's out. That also means though Shaq Barrett. I mean, that's only so much money to go around. I mean, the Bucks are probably tapped out. So that Shaq Barrett's going to move on. That's my point. Again, Reddick. To me, these guys are all the same. Do you feel any differently? Lawson,
no, you're Reddick, right. And on top of that, when you're talking about a guy who's going to look at having a chip on his shoulder because he's the one on the outside looking in from a Super Bowl team that basically secured everyone else
except for Shaq Barrett.
And everyone else, is coming back to make another run at it. And so where's the best place where he can go make a run at it? Come to Cleveland, brother. Let's go do it.
I am more and more.
That's a good move right there. I like that.
I just think of more and more and more. That's the move.
Yeah.
I just think if you're going to go for it again, would I be mad about Reddick? No. Hendrickson? No. Lawson? No. Like, I won't be mad. Like, they're good. Like, all these are good options. They're good. Like, they're good players. Like, Bud Dupree? No. Like, I like that. I would love Shaq Barrett. Oh, God. That's woo!
Oh, and can we get over the weird, I don't want to sign a Pittsburgh Steelers player stuff too?
God.
Can we get over that?
Peoples Jones.
I know.
In Michigan. Pittsburgh.
We need to get over that shit. Let's just not forget. Let's not forget that
Folks.
Joe Hayden went to Pittsburgh and drove us fucking nuts for years.
Yes.
So.
Yes. In the 80s, if you could, would you sign Rod Woodson? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. By the way, Boilermaker. But like, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah. Would you have loved to have had Jerome Bettis in the backfield?
Yeah. Domer, Notre Dame. Yeah.
I love that guy. I love that guy. I really
nice guy. Very, very nice.
Yes.
Guy. Levante David got signed by the Bucs. We already discussed that. Here's another one that I'm putting to bed. I think the Marshawn Lattimore is completely California dreaming. I don't think that's. I think there's no chance. From everything, there was a nice article again by Mary Kay about Greedy Williams.
Yep.
I think they're putting all their chips.
Why did you freeze, Andy? What happened? And he's talking about Greedy Williams. He's referring to the article that Mary Kay wrote. I can tell you a little bit about it. Greedy Williams, his nerve issue, he's being called out by some folks. And some folks are claiming that it's not really as big of a deal as he was making it out to be. And what some folks don't understand is, according to Greedy, is that nerve damage is one hell of an issue and that it does not fix itself overnight. And I can tell you right now that being someone who has suffered from my own nerve damage, that it does not fix itself overnight. It is a struggle, and it is something that takes a long time to fix. And it is very frustrating because it's not necessarily something that looks like it's a physical injury that you're not dealing with something that's visible. You're dealing with something internal that you can't see. And it's frustrating. And it's something that he has been rehabbing for a long time. And what is good is it seems like Greedy is on the right track. And it seems like he is in the right place and that he will be back. And that is the hope. That is where we are at right now with Greedy Williams. Greedy is slowly making his way back to full strength. We'll take a look at this, Pro Football Talk, NBCsports.com, that he is slowly making his way back and that he hopefully will be healthy and ready to go in 2021, this upcoming season. He thought it was just a stinger, is basically how he felt when that first injury had happened. He did not think that he was going to be out for a long time. He thought he'd be back to practice the next day when he first got his injury. And that was just a tackling drill back in August. That's what happened. Didn't work out that way for him. So after like 3 or 4 days, he was dealing with numbness and soreness. And again, we're talking about nerve damage. We're talking about a nerve injury. And anyone out there who has experienced this knows it takes a while. A long while. Doctors told him 6 to 12 months. It's been every bit of that for him. He's needed that rehab. So hopefully he'll be back. And that's what it looks like, is that he is on the path to being back. Hopefully he'll be ready. People don't realize what nerve damage really is. It's a serious matter of health. Nerves are weird. That's according to Greedy Williams. We just talked about that. It's not fake. Like I said, there you go. Moving on as we still wait for Andy to come back. Looks like he might be popping back in here. We already talked about the Odell Beckham Jr. stuff. And we talked about some of this edge rusher stuff. And we talked about the Browns releasing Adrian Claiborne. So there is Andy. Andy, I already went over.
And that's where my gold is buried.
Yeah. Fuck your internet, man. Well, whatever.
That's so many good. I was saying so many good things myself.
It's all good. I just went through all the Greedy Williams stuff. I went through all of it. So we're all good. We rolled through it.
Look,
I was moving on.
I'm going to leave it on this about Greedy. So I was going to get back to this. I actually think
nerve damage fucking blows. I deal with it all the time. I've got pinched nerve shit in my shoulders and neck. my back. I've got nerve damage in my hands from shit that I did a long time ago. You can't feel nothing. I didn't exactly rehab it like I should, so I deal with it long term because I'm an idiot. Whatever. Go ahead.
I just think signing an experienced cornerback who's not Marshawn Lattimore, I think giving Greedy Williams one more chance is the right thing to do because you need to give him 1 year. But you need to get someone in there who. I will say this: I am not as big a fan about Terrence Mitchell and some of these other guys other people are. I think getting like a Butler. I've been hearing that rumor name. I think that makes a lot of sense to make sure in case Greedy doesn't, still has problems.
Andy, I will say this: there's no way you can rely on Terrence Mitchell. There's not a chance in hell.
I'm surprised.
You cannot go into next season relying on Terrence Mitchell. No, you're telling me that there's people out there that are pushing that narrative. Who the fuck are they? Point me in their direction. I'm gonna go fight them.
I don't want
I'm kidding.
I don't want to do that. Some of these people I really like as people, but
I'm kidding.
they are saying they are saying things. I'm like, boy, I am not as high on Terrence Mitchell as other people are. But
no. There's not a
Joseph. No. All right. So here's the other couple things real quickly. Then we're on our way. Do I care that Brandon Marshall doesn't think OBJ's playing the Browns? No. Do you? Do you care?
People say shit.
Right. Is OBJ coming back on the Browns?
Yes.
Blake Hance is back. I think that's a great story. I think that's a smart sign. I was impressed with him. Blake Hance coming off the street, playing the way he did in the playoffs, deserves every right to come back. Smart move. Smart sign. Like that.
It's another reason why, So that takes me right back to that's why I wish they would just sign Hollywood and let Njoku go if that's the way they got to do it. Because that's the same.
Do you want to do that again? We can if you want.
We can do it over and over again for the whole show.
Hi, EJ. We're going to the Cavs in a second. The NFL draft's coming to Cleveland, yet there's no plans. No one knows how it's working. No one. But the NFL draft's coming to Cleveland.
I heard there was a meeting about it the other day, though, right?
Yes, but there's been no announcement. There's nothing about how it's going to be run. Nothing.
Yeah, it sounds like the NFL.
Might happen at the Rock Hall. Commissioner may be here.
Might happen at the Rock Hall. We're gonna do it. So we're gonna continue that narrative, huh? We're gonna I mean, all right. I guess.
Look. I'll just say this: is I really want to go to this. I know Jared, Holly, and I all want to go. Yeah. This is one of the most bizarre, like less than 50 days out of just gonna throw shit on the wall, huh? Just gonna get it like a. I'm fascinated to see how this is going to work. I am fascinated. I think it says virtual written all over it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you, me, and Holly are just going to be hanging out in Flannery's down on 4th Street, and
that's okay. That's okay.
I will gladly. Are they open yet? They might.
I'll find out. I'm going to be there soon.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that too. Here's the quick skinny. I find it some NFL draft reading. Here's another positive. Oversaturated wide receiver market helps you getting Higgins back. Oversaturated offensive draft this year helps you in the NFL draft being a Browns drafting defensively. Helps. The Browns have really hit the timing. How many years have we missed timings on drafts? Boy, we hit it the last few years. Baker, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb, goes on and on. Wills. We've hit the lottery and some of these things. Hitting it this year. There's actually good defensive players, but they are not in the top 10 according to people. And everybody who's in the top 10 needs offense that allows these things to drop. Even teams that aren't taking quarterback need offensive line. Bengals, my God, do they need an offensive tackle? Some of these other teams, they are going to grab. By the way, they're drafting great talent. Judy out of Alabama is a star. He's a stud. We know all the quarterbacks, so this helps. Here are the names I keep hearing, so I'll give them to you quickly. The one guy on most draft boards, if you're taking like the popularity poll between Kuiper and Bugler and some of these other people, is this guy Collins out of Tulsa. The Athletic, I thought, did a great job breaking this down. So here's a couple of comments from the coach's intel. Quote, he's a freak, Zach Collins. He has elite coverage skills, elite start, stop, elite closing speed. All things linebackers need. Uses his hands extremely well. That's a great thing, too. Good ball skills. Can see things fast. Not a great blitzer or pass rusher, though. If he's playing linebacker the way the Browns play, I'm okay with this description. I like Zach Collins a lot.
Yeah, don't mind whatever that was.
What do you say, ma'am?
I think that You know those videos when like pop up with auto audio? Yeah.
Don't get me started. Yeah.
So ridiculous. Don't like. I'll
It's
never.
a fucking
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
And all I was trying to do was look up some sports numbers and stuff. Yes. 6'4", 260. 6'4", 260.
Checks a box.
You had me at 6'4", 260.
Yeah. Collins is really getting shaped into this. We've all done this before. Things will change. Collins is the popular pick. I mean, it's unusual for deep 20s. Everyone have the same player. The majority has this. The other players you keep saying are this guy Kwity Paye out of Paye out of Michigan. I thought he was good. He didn't jump off the page to me as much as this guy below, Phillips. I think Phillips is a stud for Miami. I think that kid is very good. He looks the part. I think Phillips is just a stud. Defensive end with a motor who's just wants to get after it. I think that's the guy. If I had to say like who's a plan B, I think it's this guy Phillips. I like him a lot out of Miami.
I'm going to have to watch.
Sure.
I sound like Hugh. I'm going to have to watch a tape on a lot of these guys. This kid looks like, initially he's big. He looks like he can fill out a little bit, which he will. Yeah. I'm going to have to watch tape on some of these kids. And that was something that I was actually getting prepared for. I was just talking to my buddy about this the other day because he's getting excited about that because that's what he does with his kids before the draft.
Ooh.
Just watches a lot of tape on a lot of the top prospects, especially because he's a Packers fan who they are going to draft. I can't comment on what I feel about Jalen Phillips, to be honest, or what I feel.
Well, those are the names. Those are the names. Before we get to the tribe, which Jared's very thrilled about, I can't wait to do.
I'll talk about it.
Look at the excitement on his face. The Browns season ticket prices have increased again. They're not, but they are still one of the lower premium price tickets in the league. So keep that in mind. I know sometimes I can jump out, but they are still one of the lower price tickets in the league. If you take it for what it's worth, I come from this mindset. I think they've earned the right to hike a little ticket, in my opinion, after the way they played. That is your Cleveland Browns. Out of everything we just discussed, is there one? Obviously Baker and all this other shit. I think the Browns, even with a great year, even with an exciting win, all that shit in Pittsburgh, I get the feeling this free agency is still going to be very active. Very, very, headline active. I think they're going to make a headline move of some sort. Trading, cutting, signing. Something's going to happen big.
They're going to.
I get the feeling
because they want to win the Super Bowl.
Yep. I didn't know if that was going to happen at times. I get the feeling now it's like, well, they got to do something.
They're not going to sit on that money for the sake of sitting on that money.
Yeah. Any chance they cut Landry?
What?
He's expensive. What? I don't think so either.
He is the most consistent wide receiver in the league. Mm-hmm. Period.
I agree.
For more than a half a decade.
It gets burped and once in a while.
You cannot
just saying. I agree with you.
And again, changed the fucking culture. You want to talk about like ground zero for changing the culture in Cleveland? Mm-hmm. It's Jarvis Landry.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
It's Jarvis Landry.
I just wanted to bring it up because I've been hearing it's not a hard or one of those rumors is getting peddled, but like it gets burped in discussions. Burped.
Well, blow that fucking burp out in the wind.
I love Landry. Landry needs to come back. Landry is coming back. EJ Scalata though is ready to get rid of OBJ.
What's up? Well, that's fine. No, EJ.
It's tricky. Here's where we ended on EJ. You have to listen to the show before I dropped off into space. By the way, so are we cool with UFOs?
Yo, yeah, of course. Yes. Look, this is what's so obnoxious about it. This is what's so obnoxious about all of that is there's nothing wrong with that. Like the fact, all right. I can't believe you sucked me into this because I can't stand talking about this dumbass is bullshit. And I ain't talking about Baker. I'm talking about that other douche nozzle.
Who?
I'm not saying his name. Like literal governments have recently come out and said, yeah, they're shit. All right, they're shit. There's stuff flying. We don't know what it is. We know there's stuff. Yeah. So like enough. Anyone who knows how tiny and insignificant we are within the vast. See, now you got me going into this. The vast universe. Don't try to act like you have a clue and like it's crazy that there might be some shit flying around with some creature from another planet piloting that thing, and Baker might have seen one. Crazier things have happened.
AJ Scalata with a good transition in the tribe. They will trade OBJ for an alien. Absolutely. Good job. Love you, EJ.
OBJ is kind of an alien.
Ramirez and Reyes, as my good buddy said, they're back. The tribe is back. I'm excited about the tribe.
Shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
You got to eat outdoors in Major League Baseball, and I guess they forgot.
I thought they went to go get a haircut,
and then they went out to dinner. They went out to dinner too.
Okay.
They forgot. If you read some of the comments, I'm just going to call it the way I see this. Here we go. This is the second time for Franmil in spring training because he did this last year.
Yeah.
And Jose Ramirez, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised about Jose. All that to be said, this is spring training, so we're practicing COVID protocols too. Fine. Just don't do this shit in April. We need you both. Spring training, whatever. April 22nd against the Yanks. Need you on the field. No buffets. No indoor seating.
I don't even care.
I'm just glad they're back.
Don't care.
Just glad they're back.
Don't care. You're only winning 80 this year anyways. Don't matter. You're not going to the playoffs this year. Doesn't matter.
Aww.
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
The tribe.
Go ahead. Give other players more opportunities, more at bats. Don't care. Go ahead. Fuck off. Who cares?
Please
make everything more difficult than it already is.
Please, I got some comments about this. Quote, we're just excited to have them back. I know they're ready to come back and put their full effort in. I'll leave it at that. We're going to continue to have their back and work hard. I thought that was actually an appropriate statement from Mr. Plesac. He pitched well the other day.
I was hoping he'd learn.
He's good.
I know he is.
He's good.
Good.
I don't think he's driving.
Did he
anymore.
Did he record that statement from behind the wheel?
I don't believe so.
On his phone?
Okay.
Posted on Instagram.
This is our therapy session with Jared. And then we got to talk about the press release that came out through.
I'd rather talk about Mandy Bell getting engaged and congratulate her. I'd rather do that.
As a guy, I'm excited for it too. Congratulations.
That was her junior high sweetheart.
I don't know.
Yeah, they've been dating forever, I think.
I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe because I think I think that's her junior high sweetheart.
I don't know.
Well, she's been, I think so. They're dating forever.
Congratulations, Mandy, and to that lucky.
Congratulations, Mandy.
Let's see. Did they comb the desert, EJ Scalata, with his? I don't know if they did. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
They got jammed. When do the Cleveland Sea Spider?
The beeps, creeps, and sweeps.
They're starting in a few weeks. Jared is very down on everything, but I'm going to lift the spirits. This guy Jimenez is really good. I've been hearing this from Mets fans. I listened to the game not today, but yesterday. Jimenez is real. I'm excited about this kid. I don't think we're going to miss Lindor at all. I think Jimenez is going to come in there, triple crown, silver slugger, rookie of the year, all-star game, MVP. Okay, I went a little high. I do like Jimenez, though. I think I was obviously teasing and joking, but I do like Jimenez. I actually think it's making this transition easier for me. And to tell you how confident they are in him, they've already kind of hinted to Rosario, not Eddie Rosario, the other Rosario, like, hey, you might not be playing shortstop. You might have to move somewhere else. So I think that's a great sign. Jimenez is hitting the cover off the ball. Yu Chang's our best spring training player ever. He's off to another hot start in the spring. I have learned to temper my expectations about this.
Yeah, see, I mean, we talk about this, these spring training numbers, spring training.
Hey, Jimenez
killing it in spring training.
Jimenez is going to win the Triple Crown spring training. It's going to be great. But by the way, I think Jimenez is for real. I think Jimenez is a player.
Didn't the Royals or the White Sox destroy him like a week ago, like 8-0 spring training?
Spring training, no one cares.
Right, spring training, exactly. No one gives a shit.
If it's positive, that's all we care about. Bieber giving up 7 runs, who cares? but Jimenez hitting in the park home run. I like that. But Yu Chang again is off to a great start. I really hope it continues. I like Yu Chang. He's a big kid. He's tall.
I like Yu Chang too.
I really want him to continue on and do big things. I actually think the Tribe have a good infield. Bobby Bradley's the other big star. He's having a great
I love
spring.
Bobby Bradley.
So Bradley at first, like it. Cesar, love it. Jimenez, love it. J-Ram, love it. Just eat outdoors. I like this team. I like the infield. Roberto, it's not bad.
Again, who's the adult in the room and where's the leadership again? I thought we talked about this a week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. We talked about it because we were talking about Frankie and we were talking about how I told you they lack leadership in the clubhouse, how it ended up Carlos Santana was the de facto leader, the one who lost his shit over things.
Yes, he was
because they were acting a fool and didn't take things as seriously as they needed to. Yeah, we're just happy. We're just happy to be here, smiling all the time. Hey, yeah. Francisco, by the way, which I will say this, as angry as I was about everything, I will defend Francisco on this, and I will mention this story too that we need to get to after I bitch about the leadership thing. Who is the leader on this team? Because then I thought, okay, it's going to be Jose Ramirez. It's got to be. Jose's got to step up.
And they did a big article about it.
And here we fucking are.
I know. Well,
all right. So now I said that. Now I do want to touch base on this Francisco issue with his name. And I only want to bring it up real quickly because I personally thought something might have gotten missed on it. And I know there might be some people that blow me off for this, but it's something that just because of the nature of things that I've, just because of what I study in psychology and community psychology and cultural psychology and community relations and all that stuff regarding, his name is Francisco. It's his given name, and his name means something. And when you call him Frankie, and I didn't even think about this. And then it dawned on me when he said he thought it was being lazy. And that offended a lot of Cleveland sports folk, and it offended people all over Twitter who are Cleveland sports fans that we follow, and they're making their jokes about it, the reflogs and da-da-da-da-da. And I thought, you know what? I think we might be missing something here. I think we're whitewashing this a little bit. I think that's the problem. I think calling him Frankie is whitewashing his name. And I don't really think that's cool. His name's Francisco. And if you're calling him Frankie because you're being lazy in a sense, and you're kind of taking away from his heritage from where he, you know what I mean? Like that's a thing, his given name is Francisco. And that is his culture, and that is his heritage. And, that is what his name, that is his given name. And there's a lot that is carried there. And it's not really for me or for anyone else to just be like, make fun of him for getting upset about that. If that's the case, that's the case. But I think that being aware of that cultural possibility of that being a part of the problem is worth thinking about. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, look, we all agree. There's no one's going to disagree with what you just said. I just hope that, I'll just leave it there. There's nothing. I mean,
he even said somebody had called him out and said, I wish you would have said something earlier without bitching about it. And he even retweeted that and said, you're right. I should have. So he was cool about it.
The only thing I'll comment, which I feel bad, it was said up and down the team, up and down through everyone for years. And it's not right. Up and down the lineup, like up and down.
But I will say this too. Like, that doesn't necessarily make it okay.
No, I'm not.
I wish I would have known. Maybe he didn't feel comfortable saying something, right? I mean, he doesn't necessarily. It's not. I'm
not excusing it. I'm just saying from.
I mean, he's ESL.
No.
That's not.
No.
Right. No. I agree. I get. Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to do this topic anymore, but I'm just saying it was across the board for years. And I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because it was not just us. It was not just fans. It was any organization from Francona to Andre Knott to a lot of other people.
Yep.
So,
Oh, yeah. Tom Hamilton, everyone. All of us did. And it was an endearing name for us. We meant it in an endearing way.
Yeah. That's my point. I think it's actually a lot more complicated, but it's not right.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I just wanted to throw out there that extra layer that we might not see from our standpoint.
I think there's a lot there. And I think that's a part of it. I think there's a lot there. I'll leave it there. Because honestly, I wish him the best in New York Mets.
I don't. Separate issue. I don't. I mean, what? What do you want? Sorry. Wrong uniform. He gone.
I'm speechless. It takes me a lot. I'm speechless.
Oh, it's a different. You get what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Are you serious? That's what I'm saying. That's the line. That's the differentiator.
I like
You're
Jimenez.
in New York.
Why can't I like Jimenez? I like Jimenez.
You can't. He's in New York. He's gone. Bye. Not on the team anymore. Can't root for you.
You're not gonna root for Carlos Carrasco either. Come on.
No, I'm kidding. Anyways, Am I really that petty and bitter? No. I'm a smart ass.
No.
That's all.
I had a girl on a date recently call me Billy. I didn't like that either.
Billy. Isn't that Cable Guy?
Yeah, that date did not end well. Billy. That's for see Cleveland and Beyond behind the scenes. After I start drinking beer. EJ Scalata, probably happening soon at a theater near you. EJ Scalata, if only more people in this world would take the time to educate themselves and something like that. I agree. I think that's a bigger thing.
And I don't expect, it's not something everyone is aware of. It really isn't. And like I said, even me, someone who has studied this sort of thing and has taken the time to, try to make myself aware of my own cultural ignorances and put myself in other people's shoes. It never dawned on me until that moment, until he said something. So
look, all these things are right. All I'm saying is there's a lot to this story because it was said throughout the organization, throughout the media, throughout the press, throughout national and local press. It was everywhere.
Right. See, here we go. Javius knows what I'm talking about. If it doesn't start with Cleveland or Ohio, I'm not about it. See? Exactly.
I think it's okay if he plays well for the Mets. It's fine.
Yeah, you're right. We're not going to face him in the World Series anyways.
Oh, my God. Debbie Downer. You're not excited about Kyle Quantrill becoming the fifth starter? I am.
All right.
I'm getting my Jimenez jersey tomorrow. I like this Jimenez kid. I'm high on him. He's going to be a great 230.
Listen, winning cures everything. So,
Logan Allen. Does that not excite people? I like Logan Allen. Actually, lefty. We're finally have a lefty in the starter. Sounds like it's going to come down to Quantrill and Logan Allen for the fifth starter. The four for people who've forgotten. Bieber, remember him? Cy Young Award winner. Plesac, our favorite Instagrammer. Savali, who's actually having I think Savali's going to have a bounce back year. I really like how he's presented. I'm telling you, this team's not as bad as every time. I'm getting totally hooked on the Indians. I'm actually becoming more of a believer than I don't think they're going to go to the playoffs, but I think it's high 80s now. I really do.
We've talked about this for a while, Andy, that, and I'm still in the same boat that if they can keep their shit together, they are going to be a decent team.
I think Tristan McKenzie's a star. I do. I think he's a star.
If he can stay healthy. Yes.
Oh, he's going to stay healthy. He's a star.
I worry about him because he's big and lanky, and I just worry about his arm.
He just looks apart. I love his energy. I love his spirit. I'm a big Tristan McKenzie fan. Like all of it. We talked about Bobby Bradley, so we won't repeat that story. Okay, so the Mickey Callaway stuff for people it just broke tonight. I don't think there's really anything really breaking news. It's an email that was clearly written because they knew it was going to get out from Dolan explaining to the organization, which every owner, if I worked at ESPN, I would have gotten one of those things. I've seen those emails before. I'm sure Jared has in his employer. When things like this happen, you usually get emails from some sort of CEO or someone at the top saying, hey, remember the culture, remember everything that's going on. Like, here's the things you do and don'ts and everything else. It's something you have to do. That's what kind of got leaked out tonight through the Indians email. I won't even really get into it. I thought it was appropriate from Dolan. I thought he said the right things. And I thought he did what he had to do because, they have a lot going on there. And look, we can all debate. There's a lot of things here that need to be cleaned up. It's really obvious. Okay. All that to be said, it has, Jared talked about some other things. I won't go too deep on it. I already have a lot. This is tarnished and put a big fog over the Indians, clearly. I don't think I feel for Francona. I don't think he's acting the same. I feel for the whole situation with Nick and him. I just feel for both sides. Just feel for both sides as a dad. And as a son, I've been both ends. And I'll say this too. Like, I just think this whole situation, now I'm being serious. To be fair to Jared and many other Clevelanders I talk to, they are not excited about the Tribe. And if we're being honest, this is probably the biggest reason why. And I get it.
It feels awful. It just
not going well.
It just leaves a sour feeling in your stomach. And a lot of it is because of we hold Antonetti and Tito in such high regard.
Chernoff too.
And Chernoff.
Yeah.
We thought highly of Callaway. We thought he
we didn't until recently. Yeah, we did.
We thought that we had such a well-oiled front office and management machine that was handling things in a way that kept this team competitive despite other things through ownership at times. That also rallied fans around those guys even more. And it makes this well, you understand, if you understand the nuance of it, you don't want to bury them, but you also shake your head and wish things were done differently. You do feel badly when, Andy, I've built a bit of a relationship with Nick over the past handful of months, Nick Francona, over the past, 6 months, 7 months. And so, and it's, all online. It's not like we're close friends or anything like that, but we talk every once in a while in small bits. And we agree on a lot of things. And seeing this and with his father and them going through that and publicly, it's a lot. And you and I talked offline about a lot of that, and it's it hurts.
It's only something Nick and Terry know about.
It hurts.
It hurts. And you feel for them. I don't mean like I'm hurting in any way the same way that they are. I do not mean it in that way. Yeah.
I just feel for them.
I do too. I really do. It's hard. The bigger thing I'll say, I'll give the 50,000 foot view.
Yeah.
Sadly, in sports, this is pretty more the norm than the latter. It's getting better. I just want to keep that in mind, everybody. The Indians are getting spotlighted, and there's some actually fair reason why they are. I love the Indians. I will always love them. Baseball team, Guardians, whoever they are, I will love them. I like still a lot of people that were inside the organization a lot. I really do. I will cheer for them hard. The only thing I'll say is this is actually more prevalent than just the Indians. And there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done across businesses, across other things, and across that. And that's why these stories are much, much larger than a diamond and everything else.
This goes to my something that I've spoken about often, and because I've run into it a lot recently within my former career field in the military and broadcasting. I worked in American Forces Network, and as a broadcast journalist and public affairs specialist throughout the Air Force and throughout the military for 12 years. I did that, and we've got issues with sexual assault and things like that have happened, and I've had this constant barrage of situations that I run into where I'm constantly baffled at this this need to, or at least this initial knee-jerk reaction to protect the worst of us, and that like within our group or within whatever our tribe is, and I don't pardon the pun, but whatever our group or our tribe is, that when you protect a guy like Callaway or whatever, whoever that is, when you protect the worst of that tribe, you think you're protecting the tribe, but you're not. You're really destroying the credibility of the tribe, and you're creating a toxic environment within that tribe. And that the only way that you can keep that tribe healthy, and that you keep those healthy relations, that healthy institution, the institution itself healthy, is to root out those individuals who are the worst of you within those tribes, within those institutions. And I just feel like we culturally have to flip that mentality, because it's far too often that we see different institutions defending the worst of us within those places and digging in our heels. And that's, it's just causing more strife than it needs. That, I'm sorry we went down this path. I really am, but I think it means a lot. I think this is a situation where we clearly see that. And it upsets me because I care, and I care about the Indians, and I hate.
It just bums you out. It's sour pit and stomach's a fair example, and it's going to be, and it needs to happen. Here's 2 comments. Don't run away, because it's going to get worse. Attack the problem, heal the problem, and move on. The other thing I'll say too is, and I hate saying it, but, and it doesn't go for sexual harassment. It goes across the board for anything that goes wrong. When you're winning, things get ignored. And I'll leave it there. When you're losing, ask Les Miles. You'll get erased pretty fast.
Yeah.
When you're not winning, you will get brushed out fast in sports. When you are winning, Bob Knight, other people come to mind, you're going to get protected. And it's been a centuries long time problem. I will say it's getting cleaned up, and there's a start, but there's a long way to go. Clearly.
Yeah.
All that to be said, that is the Indians. I hate saying it. I'll do it one more time. I hate saying it. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think this story's done. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think it is.
No, and I reached out to the reporter at The Athletic and tried to attempt to get her to come on, and she basically said, I'm exhausted. I'm going to let the story speak for itself. So Andy and I did try to make that happen, and Andy and I also speculated a little bit that there was probably more to this, and that might be another reason.
I think there's more to come.
She's sitting back.
Yep. Yeah. We'll see what happens. All to be said, if you want some positivity on the field, get excited about Jimenez. I'm telling you, get excited about Jimenez. Bobby Bradley, I think that's great. And please, 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 I'll do one more on the field. Can we have Daniel Johnson start in center field this year? Please? He's almost hitting 400. The guy all he did was hit last year when he came up. I'm being serious. Daniel Johnson needs to be playing every day center field.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm actually going to start getting hard on this. I don't want to see Daniel Johnson playing. If you have Naylor, Johnson, Rosario, all of a sudden I don't feel as bad about this team. And that's why I'm getting excited. I want Daniel Johnson to start playing every day. I hate saying it. Nothing against Oscar Mercado and Zimmer. I don't want to go through that experience anymore.
Look, I mean, I don't understand. I never understood the Oscar Mercado in center field to begin with. But
well, he played great coming up, and then he stunk. And I just hate saying it. I don't understand. We usually, as in this organization as fans, see the pushing of Sizemore, the pushing of these players fast. For some reason, they keep holding back Daniel Johnson. It's like, why? Let's play him. Let's go. I'm ready to see that kid fly.
Yep.
He's hitting almost 400 in spring training. He hit last year when he came up.
Yeah.
I'm ready. That's my last take. I'm ready to see Daniel Johnson playing every day.
All right.
He's very, very good. Purdue is on their way to hopefully winning a Big Ten championship. I'm very excited about the Big Ten. There's basketball going on. I believe Duke won again today. That when we came on, they were beating Louisville. I've said this. I'm a huge March Madness fan. It is good having it back. Gonzaga BYU was a good game. You know, Gonzaga won big late. It was a very close game up until late in the game. Then they pulled away. I'm excited to have it back. I'm excited to have the tournament back. I did not realize how much I missed it until tonight when I was watching. Even before we came on, I was like just watching. Thanks, Javius. Watching Duke. God, it was just great. It's like, it's good having these games back. I love championship week. I love this shit. I just love it. I love it.
Yeah, what I'm fired up about is excited for Cleveland State.
Great. That
excited
coach,
for Cleveland State.
That by the way, you better lock him up. That guy can coach. If I'm Indiana,
yeah. And then
that guy can coach. He's
the other thing is I watched Ohio State as they lost their 4th straight. That was a rough one.
They can't. I'm ready to break this down. I've seen Ohio State. Ohio State all year won games as they're shooting.
Yeah,
they can really shoot. When they've gone cold, they aren't great at rebounding. They're not a big team. They've got to shoot their way to win. I feel bad, Buckeye fans. I'm actually not trying to pour it on you. They have to shoot better. They don't have
so
the size.
Funny that I decided to start watching basketball right when they began that 4-game losing.
By the way,
that's when I chose to start watching.
By the way, if they I believe Minnesota won tonight. Minnesota plays the Buckeyes tomorrow. CSU, that's right, Javius. If the Buckeyes win, they will play my Boilermakers again for the 3rd time Friday at 2:30. Might watch that game. We'll be watching that game. Will not be doing any work during that time. That's a great rematch. 3 times being a team's tough. Great tournament. I love it. Illinois is hot. Michigan State's going to get back in, it looks like.
Anything quick on the Cavs?
Drummond, I can't believe I'm saying this. Damn it. I think the Cavs are going to have to buy out Drummond because it's just not. LaMarcus Aldridge just left San Antonio. Why would you not sign these guys for free? The Nets already signed Blake Griffin. LaMarcus Aldridge is getting signed by someone. I don't see Drummond getting traded. I don't understand this.
How's that Cavs strain?
I like where the Cavs are going. I know this is the most bizarre.
How's that Kevin Love calf strain?
Like this is the most
bizarre.
The most bizarre. He's wearing an essential sweater. I just want to say this one time. Whole team's wearing
not the team gear
uniforms. Designers. I mean, does that stick out like a sore thumb? Jesus Christ. It's the weirdest picture. And he looks miserable. Oh, it's just so funny. Hopefully those checks cash, Kevin. I like Kevin, though, but boy, it's been weird. I am excited about Garland. He's played much better. Sexton. But boy, that was a terrible loss against the Pacers. McConnell tore us up. McConnell had a triple-double. Points, assists, and steals. That does not happen much often in the NBA. I'll repeat. And steals. He almost had 10 steals at halftime.
Yeah, I was trying to think of somebody who'd done that recently, and the name is falling out of my brain for some reason. I don't know why James Harden was popping in my head, but it wasn't James Harden.
I like where I like this. I like Jared Allen. I'm seeing rumors about Cedi Osman being traded. I think like all these I think all these different things. He did a great.
Notice my big reaction there.
For people who can't see us because we're on the podcast, there's a great Head and Shoulders commercial that Cedi does, and it's a nice commercial. I thought that was nice. He's such a nice man, and he absolutely stinks at basketball. It's a shame. I'm hearing baffling rumors, but the Cavs are now not going to trade to Larry Nance Jr. If they were to trade Larry Nance Jr., I think everybody would walk the plank of depression. I know I would. I can't believe that was even being contemplated.
Be dumb.
Break. I actually would have a connection. Oh my God.
That would make no sense.
That would make no sense. So, but they've came off. They've got oxygen.
Good.
There's some things about the Cavs are very weird. There's some things I like, and I like Windler's had a good stretch. Dean Wade's played well down the stretch, having nice moments. I'm seeing bits and parts that I like, and yet Drummond is that's an eyesore. What's going on, Kevin Love? To be fair, that's an eyesore. Poor Dellavedova's not coming back, but he's doing a nice job as a coach. They don't have a backup point guard. It really sticks out in these games late. It's like they just don't have. It's like they are making strides, yet they take 2 steps forward to take 1 step back, 3 steps forward to take 4 steps back. It's like they're kind of just weirdly treading water, but it's because of like you see some things and you're excited, and then you get reminded about other things. You're like, oh fuck, oh. The Pacer game was a perfect depiction of that because they should not have won that game. They almost did, and then McConnell's like, fuck it, if you're not going to take care of the ball, I'll just steal it out of your hands and just win the game, and he did.
Well,
and that's where they're at. I like JB Bickerstaff though. I do. I do like JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, and again, I've had conversations with folks offline. I still really think the issues come down to Kobe Altman's the problem. JB needs to go nowhere. He needs to stay, and until they get that issue figured out, the Cavs are going to be,
Here's what I'll say about Mr. Altman. Windler is helping him save his job, and Garland is helping him save his job. But I don't think he's going to save his job. Because if they have to buy out Drummond, boy,
it's bad.
I don't think Drummond's going to get traded. I can't believe I'm saying that tonight. When I saw the LaMarcus Aldridge story, I'm like, why would you make a trade for the Cavs if you're going to get guys for free?
Yeah.
I agree with you, JVS. JVS on Facebook, great coaching job. I agree.
Yeah.
I like JB. This is the weirdest team we have right now. There's some things I do like. There's some things I see, but there's some very far away problems. By the way, like McGee, they're going to have to get a backup center. I'm just telling you right now, have to.
Check out the website, clevelandandbeyond.net. You can find the podcast there. You can read about your hosts, Andy and I. Got some bios up there. Real fascinating stuff. You want to check that out. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com. Facebook.com /Cleveland.
Jared will tell you everything he hates about the Indians this year. He's just very, very down. His favorite Hollywood Higgins moment.
Listen, I'm hoping it changes. I can't hide my feelings, man. I wear them on my sleeve. It is.
By the way, I tease you. You tease me. It happened.
Yeah,
it's a little sad.
It is. Well, I mean,
the draft.
Don't do dumb shit, and I won't be upset.
Okay. By the way, how typical of just so fucking stupid. They have this draft in Cleveland, yet everything's virtual. It's like, God, so
So I mean, we have to plan what we're gonna do for this, and we can't even plan for it.
You can't plan.
We're going to plan for it, but we can't plan for it. But we're going to plan for it, but we can't plan for it.
I agree, Jay. This next one is going to be a good day.
Yeah, it'll be a good day next Monday. I mean,
I think Purdue's going to win the national championship.
Follow us on Twitter at CLE and Beyond. At CLE and Beyond.
Where's Kevin?
Shoot us an email, Andy and Jarid, JARID @gmail.com. Check out Andy talking about the Cavs on Instagram on
Indians. Soon with Jared and Holly.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking Tribe. Can't wait.
We're never gonna be sleeping
on Instagram at official Cleveland Sports
every fucking night.
At official Cleveland Sports on Instagram. We go live after the games.
Fun
time. Big crowd there too. 152,000 followers on that page, and thousands line up. And Andy and Holly and I will get on there and just roll through the questions and have a little, either get our gripes out or have our celebration or, shoot the shit. It's what we do. Kind of like
drink in ears, all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. So anyway,
watching that video is a little
join us for that. Is it? Whatever. I've done worse things in my life.
It was great. But this is one of those things like, God, we did that, huh?
Yeah, I've done worse. Again, I have no regrets. None. Brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. And we are proud to be a part of Evergreen Podcasts. Andy, final thoughts. Cool. Thanks.
Wait. I love Purdue. As Joe said, good night, everybody. Right? I actually think Gonzaga is going to go undefeated and be the first time to go undefeated since UCLA to win the national championship. I think they're going to do the whole thing. It's going to be a great watch.
Might.
It'd be a great story.
Might happen. Might happen.
By
the
the way,
Browns
did you know
are, the
that
Browns
Georgia
are going
and
to.
Alabama might play players? Did you know that? They might.
The boosters, those boosters, raising money, giving them players. Yeah,
breaking news: water's wet.
It's not like those kids and their families don't need money and shit too, you know.
Oh, but that's a whole different discussion, right?
See,
10 o'clock. My God,
we should do a whole episode on that. Yeah, we went long tonight, brother. Almost an hour and a half show, and plenty to catch up on. It felt like we needed to go through.
No, they're okay. Now I'm babbling, but one more.
Yeah,
Jared and I will go live on Instagram Monday night with what we thought happened to the Browns. Is I can't do a show, but we'll go Monday night. I'll just tell Jared now we will. Tuesday we'll relive. So I think it's going to go on all throughout the day and night. So we'll do something live on Instagram on Monday night.
We'll go live Instagram at Official Cleveland Sports Monday night, and then we'll do this
recap.
We'll do this show on
Tuesday.
Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, and then this
Tuesday.
Obviously is the podcast, so you'll be able to listen to it.
Might be doing it live in person in Youngstown, Ohio. Might be. Don't know yet.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
wait a minute. That's the 17th. That's a Wednesday. That's St. Patrick's Day.
Tuesday.
So you'll be at the 16th. Okay. All right. I'll get the corned beef ready.
We'll talk more later.
Talk to you later. What are you doing?
I don't know. Look, I hope everybody. This has been a long fucking show. If everybody who's hung on there for 90 minutes, God bless you. I just want to give a big middle finger to Cox Cable Internet. Just can't fucking get this shit straight. I've had sinus issues, so I'm like my head hurts. I ate too much.
Oh, you're back at it again?
Don't even get me started. I fucking getting old blows.
Well, I was hurting yesterday. Out of nowhere, headache. Just
there's so much dry air in Connecticut because of the cold. It's warm, but okay. Go Tribe, go Browns in the offseason, go Cavs. Beat the Pelicans on Friday. They have a road. Boy, the Cavs have a nasty schedule to start the year. Jeez. Poor Cavs.
Good night, everybody. Talk again.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Go Boilers. No. There I am. It's a good picture.
We can still hear you.
I know. What am I saying there? I was thirsty outside. Jared looks very professional, though.
I'm saying, hey, you want to play catch? I'm saying, Andy. I thought we were playing football, and you're like, no, Jared, we're playing baseball. Where's your glove, asshole?
I just ate a bunch of jalapenos. My tongue's fucking hot.